Holy shit. Y'all, it is going to be hard to do an episode 8 review because, oh my god, episode 9 is different. So fucking different. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to be using this so I can, watch the clips of episode 8 so that, I can give my thoughts on episode 8. I don't even want to talk about episode 8, but I need to, but I don't even want to because episode 9 was on a different fucking level. Oh, gosh. I'm speechless. I can't even talk. Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to start with episode 8. Okay, so it starts off with Bullseye in prison. I'm really happy they brought back Bullseye for episode 8. Well, it's mainly episode 8. He wasn't really in episode 9 that much. But I am happy they brought back Bullseye. And of course, I'm just going to get it out of the way. Bullseye breaks out of prison. And he does it in the most genius way, actually. Man, it was a mistake for Matt Murdock to do what he did to Bullseye in episode 8. It wasn't a good idea for him to go and see Bullseye because Bullseye wanted to talk to Matt Murdock after he got transferred to another prison. And he was trying to tell Matt Murdock what really happened and who hired him to kill Foggy. And he said, "I'll tell you, but I need to be outside." Matt Murdock grabs him by the hair, and he's like, "I don't trust you for a second." And Bullseye's like, "I'm not lying." And then he goes, bam, bam, bam! Slams his head on the desk 3 times. That's 2 more times than Batman did that to Joker in the interrogation room. And that broke his tooth. So while he was in the medical bay, whatever, he goes and he breaks his tooth, and then he spits it out at the guard, and then he uses his keys to unlock the chains, and then he breaks scissors in half and he stabs the people, and then he breaks out of prison. Pulled straight from the comics, apparently. I've been seeing people talk about that. Sorry that I didn't do an episode 8 review. It's just I don't know. I never got around to it. But I'm keeping my promise. I'm reviewing this whole series. So, yeah. So Bullseye broke out of prison. Yeah. I'm going to go in order here with how it's showing up on my screen. Okay, so the next mind-blowing thing that happened in episode 8, Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, took Vanessa to go see Adam. And I'm just going to cut to the chase. She fucking killed Adam. I kind of suspected that a little bit whenever I watched episode 8 for the first time last week. I kind of expected that. I was like, is Vanessa going to kill Adam? But I didn't really expect her to do that. And she did it. Oh my god. She killed Adam. She was like, bam, 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 bam. Last one, headshot. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I did see that coming, but I did not expect her to do it, actually. I didn't expect her to really do it. And I was like, oh my god. Vanessa is just as cold-blooded as Kingpin is. I don't even know if she's more cold-blooded than Kingpin or if it's equally. All I know is they are made for each other. They're a match made in heaven. So I did not expect. I did. Well, I expected her to kill Adam, but I didn't at the same time. And I can't believe she actually did it. And then what's kind of creepy is Kingpin invited Heather to his party that's going to be happening later. I don't know how Buck knew where Vanessa stayed. Well, not Vanessa. There's so many characters in this. I don't know how Buck knew where Heather stayed at Matt Murdock's house, and that's kind of that's kind of creepy. But Matt Murdock was trying to get Heather to see that Kingpin is using Heather to get to her. And so, but he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go, and he didn't want Heather to go either. So she was like, it says Dr. Heather Glenn and guests. And he's like, yeah, okay. And so yeah, they went to the party later. A lot of episode 8, at least the second half of episode 8, mainly took place at Kingpin's party. Also, I'm not gonna lie, based on episode 8 and 9, I don't really think I like Heather anymore, and I don't even think Heather and Matt are going to be a thing anymore. I think they unofficially broke up. I don't think they're together anymore. Because she was saying in episode 8, like she was putting Daredevil and Muse in the same category, and I'm like, girl, that Daredevil came in there to save you. And she was like, no, I saved me. Like, okay, so your ass would have died if Daredevil didn't show up. Muse would have killed you. That's what would have happened. You would have died. Had Matt Murdock, Daredevil, she doesn't know that Daredevil is Matt Murdock, but if Daredevil wasn't there, her ass would be dead. I'm not gonna lie. I think she's being a little bit ignorant or just stubborn and unrealistic because your ass would have died. Like, if Daredevil didn't show up at that moment, you wouldn't have had a chance to get your gun and kill Muse. But I get it. She's traumatized over this whole situation that happened, and she had to kill Muse, and that's not an easy thing to live with, killing somebody. So I get it. Maybe she's a little messed up. Looks like the therapist is gonna need some therapy after this. Wow. Wow. So also in episode 8, Kingpin made Daniel Blake, I guess, a deputy mayor or whatever, deputy of communications. So he's going down a dark path too. So good for him, I guess, but not good for him because that's not right for him. And I'm very worried about Sheila. I'll get more into that when I talk about episode 9. I'm very worried for Sheila. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with Sheila. Oh, boy. So, and then Matt Murdock in episode 8, he's really starting to slip. He's really starting to not care anymore because of everything that is going around him. He feels like there was a really good line in episode 8, and everyone seems to agree. He says, we're babysitting chaos. That's a very good line. He snapped at this guy where he was ripping off teachers, and he knew that he was lying. He was like, we at Murdoch and McDuffie, we have a lot of approaches, but what we will not do is it is against the law for us to put our client up on the stand when we know that he is lying. You let us know when you want to make a plea deal. And I'm like, damn, shut his shit down. He is not playing. In episode 8, Matt Murdock was not playing. And I really like his friend, McDuffie. I feel like she's a really good friend. I think she is a really good friend to Matt. So I really like her character in this show. I feel like she's a really good friend. I feel like Matt Murdock should put more trust in her and do more for her. It was really sad seeing Matt Murdock at the same place that Foggy died. He went back to Josie's, and that's where he found out that, Josie gave him what Foggy was drinking in the first episode, and it was Melanie's, I think is what it is. He was celebrating early, and that's the same alcohol that they drink whenever they're celebrating, when they win a case. And he was celebrating early because he was about to take down Vanessa in her operations, and Vanessa couldn't have that. I guess I should talk about both episode 8 and 9 together, I guess. So if it was revealed in episode 9 that Vanessa hired Bullseye to go take out Foggy, and I think Bullseye is both mad at both Vanessa and Kingpin because it showed in episode 9 that Bullseye was aiming for Vanessa first, because I'm pretty sure in episode 9 she was like saying to Bullseye, you'll be free, but that was kind of a lie because Bullseye ended up going back to prison. So I like how it's all connected in a way. Like, I can't wait to rewatch this series so I can like pick up on everything. But Matt Murdock being back at Josie's, wow, it was really emotional. Yeah. So the Matt Murdock and Bullseye scene where they meet in the interrogation room. I already kind of talked about that a little bit, but that was a really, really good scene. Um, it was a really good scene, and man, I could feel the tension between them. It's kind of Matt Murdock's fault again that Bullseye got out of prison because he smashed his head into the table. And I already went over everything that was revealed with Bullseye and Vanessa. So it turned out it was Vanessa that had Foggy killed. Big revelation. Vanessa is really, really evil. Also, whenever I'm pretty sure it was on Collider that Charlie Cox had an interview in. I think the interviewer asked him, "Do you like drop any f words?" And he says that he drops it. He drops the f word once under his breath. In this episode, that was not under his breath. He After he slammed Bullseye's head into the table, Bullseye was like, "Thank you, counselor," and he was like, "Fuck you." That was not under his breath. Well, I'm so happy. Maybe that's immature of me, but I'm so happy we got so many F words in this show. It was really impressive to hear Matt Murdock just give a full out "fuck you." Like, wow, that was not under your breath. Matt Murdock is slipping in these last 2 episodes. So the whole party scene, Swordsman came back from Hawkeye. He's actually in the last 2 episodes. The whole party scene was really good. It turns out that BB, in fact, did know that Kingpin killed BB's uncle, and she knew, so she's trying to go after Kingpin. That shocked me actually. I was like, damn, the BB's really brave actually to be going up against Kingpin. I will say Kingpin and his anti-vigilante task force, they are so fucking brutal and ruthless. I'd say the most brutal and most graphic, gruesome things happen in these last 2 episodes. There's a guy who was with the press and he was taking pictures of Kingpin. He told his task force to go and deal with him. He took his fucking hand and put it in a fryer. You know those things that you like put fries in? He got his hand and put it in there. And I'm like, oh my God, that would be so painful. Oh my God. I feel like with my Dark Avenger story, the way I was approaching the violence in my story, I was like, what would hurt the most? And I feel like they did that same thing with this show because, oh my God, so violent, so fucking brutal, so violent. I don't know how anyone at the prison didn't recognize Bullseye whenever he broke out of prison. But I'm gonna wrap up episode 8 because I really want to talk about episode 9. So yeah, Bullseye breaks out of prison, goes to the party that everyone's at. He's aiming like it showed in episode 9. He was at first aiming at Vanessa, but then he aimed at Kingpin, took the shot, but Matt Murdock took the bullet for Kingpin. And a lot of people are asking like, why did he do that? What the fuck? And I think it has to do with what Bullseye said earlier in the interrogation scene. He said because that's what good men do, right? Defend their worst enemies. And I like how they kind of poked fun at the fans because in episode 9, Punisher comes back and he asks Matt Murdock, "Why would you take a bullet for that asshole?" And Matt Murdock was like, "That's a good question." No explanation, but I feel like they kind of already answered that in episode 8. He's just a good dude, and he would take a bullet for his worst enemy. And I think it's possibly because he wants to be the one to take down Kingpin himself. Episode 9. Oh my God. Oh my God. This episode was an hour long and it didn't even feel like that. It's an hour long and I feel like that still wasn't enough. Episode 9 is so good. I need season 2 now. I don't want to wait. I need season 2 now. I need season 2. Oh my God. Episode 9 was amazing and brutal and mind-blowing. I don't even know really what to say. I'm going to go by this play-by-play because holy shit. Holy shit. Some of the most brutal and graphic things that has ever happened in the MCU happens in this. Yes, even more brutal and graphic than Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh my God, I cannot believe the things that happened in episode 9. So I already talked about the whole Bullseye and Vanessa thing. That's what the episode opened on. Foggy was getting into Vanessa's business, trying to take down her organization. She hired Bullseye to take out Foggy, blah, blah, blah. We already know all about that. So it really starts with Matt Murdock in the hospital. And man, that was kind of cold. I get it was an accident. That was kind of cold, though. When he woke up and Heather came up to Matt Murdock, the first thing that Daredevil said, or Matt Murdock, he said, Karen? Damn. But, I mean, they're close friends. They've known each other for years. Don't be feeling jealous. It's not like they're together, but still, ouch. That's gotta hurt. I think low key they kind of broke up because Heather was like, I think it's best for me to leave. So I think they're kind of broken up. And I think they're not going to be together once Matt Murdock learns that at the end of episode 9, Heather is Kingpin's like mental health informant, whatever. I don't really know what she is, but she works for Kingpin now. So yeah, I don't really think he's going to be on good terms with Heather after that. So Kingpin sends Buck to go kill Matt Murdock, but the power goes out at that time. It's not really clear why the power went out. Maybe I'll need to rewatch episode 9 to figure out why the power went out in New York, but all of New York went black. I don't really know why, but good timing. Because Matt Murdock escaped, went to his apartment, and voila, there's Punisher. Punisher came back, got himself a shave and a haircut, and it was actually because of Karen that Punisher was there, because she heard about Bullseye breaking out of prison and wanted the Punisher to have Daredevil's back. Even though Bullseye wasn't even really in episode 9. He was in the beginning, but that was to explain why he killed Foggy, and then he showed up at the very end for a brief second. He didn't really do anything in episode 9, but we have season 2 to look forward to because he is going to come back in season 2. We've seen the set photos, so his story is not done yet. And then because it's already been implied that Kingpin knows where Matt Murdock stays, because Buck came and invited Matt Murdock and Heather to his party, the Anti-Vigilante Task Force knows where Matt Murdock lives, so they stormed his place. Daredevil and Punisher go off, and I am not gonna lie, it is so fucking good to see the Punisher back again, and he was fucking people up, and oh my god, he was brutal and ruthless. Oh my god, I think this is the most violent that the MCU has ever been, and that's due to both Kingpin and Punisher, because they were fucking people up. I'm pretty sure that Punisher, he took a dude's arm off. I'm like, oh my god. And I'm so happy that he didn't listen to Punisher. Punisher wanted Daredevil to kill the guy because that did get revealed. I'm not for sure if I mentioned it in my other reviews, but I was like, it's still unclear who killed White Tiger. It was actually that one black guy. I don't really remember his name, but he's part of the Anti-Vigilante Task Force, so I was wrong. I thought it was going to be Victor. Victor still wasn't in this episode. I have no idea where he is, but I figured he would be the one to kill White Tiger. Nope, it was that guy. And I'm not sure if he's still alive or not. I don't think he is, because no, I was gonna say maybe Matt Murdock was kind of responsible for him dying, because so Daredevil and Punisher get into another argument again. He's like, "What is wrong with you?" Because Punisher killed that one guy, and then a grenade came and his apartment just blew up, and that's when Karen came back. So yay! And it felt so good to see those 3 original series members back again. It was so good to see Karen and Punisher back. And I'm kind of happy they had a little bit of an exchange too. That's what I was really hoping to see whenever Karen and Punisher came back. I really wanted them to have a scene together, and they did. And they did. It was so good to see them back again. Like I said, really worried about Sheila, because she made a deal with Gallo to do something to bring down Kingpin, and Kingpin heard about that, and I'm pretty sure that Kingpin also fired her. I feel really bad for Sheila, because she's just trying to do her job, and it's been really hard for her, and I just feel really bad for her. I hope nothing happens to her in season 2, because she still made it out alive, but Kingpin knows that Sheila tried to do something with Gallo to take him down. So I'm really worried about Sheila. I actually really like her character. She's just trying to do her job. So I feel really bad for Sheila. I just want to touch on real quick. I know I just said that I was really happy that Frank Castle and Karen had a scene again, but I really loved the line that Karen said to Frank. She said, I don't believe it. I don't believe that you don't care." I just thought that was a really good line, and I really loved the Punisher in this episode. I'll get to it though. As far as the state of New York, shit is getting crazy. I'm surprised that we didn't get any Defenders cameos in here. Like, at least Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. I'm surprised we didn't get any Defenders cameos because New York was going fucking crazy. It's turning into a war zone, and it's going to continue to be a war zone because Kingpin finally does it. He makes vigilantes illegal in New York, and that is a huge, huge, big deal for the MCU. It's going to be really hard for all heroes to operate in New York now, and I really like that. It's like changing the MCU even more. Like, you know what I mean? There's some things that happen that changes the MCU, like Civil War with the Avengers, or Loki with the end of season 2. Now, New York is a war zone, and I like that. It is gonna get fucking crazy, and it was crazy in this episode. I'm also very, very happy they did not bring back Foggy. People were saying that Foggy might come back due to the comics, that he has a fake death in the comics. I'm so happy they didn't bring back Foggy. I love Foggy, but he needs to stay dead. I'm sorry, he just does. So, but they had a scene where both Matt Murdock and Karen were reminiscing about Foggy, and they brought back the avocados at law. Avocados, like avocados. I don't really know how to say lawyers in Spanish, but it sounds like avocados. They brought that back, and I was like, bringing it all the way back to season 1. Oh, I miss Foggy. Like, oh, that hit me hard. I was like, damn. I almost cried. I was like, damn, I miss Foggy. So I really loved that scene. It was really emotional too when they were talking about Foggy. But I'm really happy they did not bring him back, because if they brought back Foggy, that would have really pissed me off. Because then it would feel like that his weight doesn't have any meaning. And his entire arc this show started with Foggy dying. So if Foggy comes back and it just undoes all of that. So, like, I'm very happy they did not bring Foggy back. That was a very good decision. I don't know if Kingpin and Vanessa have been working closely together distantly, because the same place that he was wanting to do his whole structural rehaul is where he was going to be doing all of his illegal criminal stuff. And that goes in Vanessa's favor. It's exempt, apparently, from the United States. I don't really know how that works. But the point is, he's going to be the mayor, still be doing his Kingpin shit on the side at the ports. So that's what Foggy was trying to uncover. I don't think he knew that it went that deep, but that's what he was trying to uncover, and that's why Vanessa had him killed. So that's where Daredevil and Karen went, and it's heavily fortified with anti-vigilante task force members of Kingpins. One thing I also wanted to see was the Punisher fuck up those anti-vigilante task force members, and he does, but he ends up losing. He gets his ass beat, and he's in prison now. But oh, I loved what he had to say about those people. That was a very good scene, and it got really fucking graphic. Like, oh, and it got violent too. Like, I was like, oh my god. Like, he got an action. He was like, oh my god. He got his ass kicked, but he gave them a good motherfucking beating, and I was like, yeah, like, yo, I loved that. The Punisher unleashed, like, oh my god, that was a very good scene. I've been wanting to see that the whole season, and we finally got it. That was a really good scene. The Punisher in this episode, fucking perfect. I loved him in this season. This has to be. Oh, he also dropped some F-bombs too. I'm so happy the Punisher got to drop some F-bombs. He dropped like 2 or 3. So, yes, big ass W. Like, oh my god, Punisher was so good in this episode. So good. This is definitely the most violent episode out of the entire season, out of the entire MCU. It was not messing around. This episode has some of the most violent things, brutal and gruesome things to ever happen in the MCU, and I'm going to get to it in a second. So Kingpin had enough of Gallo, and I just knew this entire season that man was going to get killed. And get killed he did. And this is the one thing that I feel like this is the most graphic and brutal thing to ever happen in the MCU. Kingpin kills Gallo, and how does he do it? Crushes his fucking head and then fucking rips his jaw off. Crushes his skull and then rips his jaw off. And it does not shy away from it. It shows it all. That has the most like mind-blowing reaction from me. I lost my shit seeing that, and it kind of grossed me out and kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because oh my god. Oh my god. That has to be the most graphic and violent, brutal thing to ever happen in the MCU ever. Ever. I can't even believe the MCU went there. Like, I was in shock. I'm still in shock that that happened. Oh my god. He is really dead. He is really, really dead. I'm mind blown over that. Well, I think I pretty much covered everything. Kingpin has prisoners that are vigilantes that have broken the law, and Punisher was among those prisoners. Swordman's was among those prisoners. Daredevil and Karen and all of his people that he's with, that was throughout this season, they are forming an army to take down Kingpin. And it's going to be hard because now vigilantes heroes are illegal in New York. And that is going to change the MCU big time. And it ends on a cliffhanger. And this episode was an hour long and it still didn't feel like enough. And I need season 2 so bad. But the one thing I'm glad that they did show, there is an end credit scene and it shows the Punisher breaking out of his cell. So I'm happy he's not going to be in there all of season 2. I'm very happy that he survived, and I think that means he's going to be in season 2, or that's going to lead into his special presentation that Jon Bernthal's also writing. Very excited for that. I need more Punisher, because after this, I need more Punisher. I need more Daredevil. It basically ends right there. Daredevil has his little group, and they're like assembled in Josie's, and they're going to take down Kingpin, and I guess that's what season 2 is going to be. And that's it. That is Daredevil Born Again. I did it. I reviewed the entire season. Finally, I reviewed an entire season. Daredevil Born Again. This was such a good show. Such a good show. And I'm so happy that I decided to... But I'm sad that it's over now. I'm like, ugh. I'm sad that it's over. This was such a good season. I'm not sure if it's as good as the Netflix series, but I feel like, just like John Campea said today, I feel like it does deserve to be up there with the Daredevil seasons, because this was a very good season. And if season 2 is anything like these last 2 episodes, count me in, and I need it now. I don't want to wait. Can someone just put me in a coma and wake me up when season 2 comes out? I need season 2. I need season 2, and I'm very curious how everything that Kingpin did, making heroes and vigilantes illegal in New York, how that's going to go into Thunderbolts, depending on where Thunderbolts takes place. If I had to give Daredevil Born Again on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a damn near 9 out of 10. I'm very satisfied with this season. Such a good season. I cannot wait to rewatch it. I cannot wait to rewatch all my reviews. Very good season. And I'm so happy. And I'm satisfied. But I'm not satisfied because I need season 2. I need more. So, yeah. That's it. That's Daredevil Born Again. I am so happy that this show exists in its MCU canon. Yes. Such a good season. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm not trying to make this too long. It's already very long. So, remember, you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Put a smile on your face, and you can achieve anything you put your mind to. I promise you can. You just got to believe in yourself, and you can do it. Leave a like, subscribe. I love y'all. Daredevil Born Again was fucking awesome!